A woman who is fully comfortable in her own skin, magnetic, confident, and in touch with who she is, or a woman who only looks pretty and feminine, but she's insecure, tense, and disconnected from herself. Who would you gravitate to? Hi muses, welcome back to my channel where we talk about how women can have their cake and eat it too. I'm your host Nadeen, and I'm here to rebuild the village women once had so we can have the right conversations and create lives that feel as good as it looks. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you've gone down the rabbit hole learning about manifestation, law of attraction, or energetic healing, you for sure have heard of feminine energy, especially on TikTok or Instagram. You hear women talking about claiming their feminine energy or cultivating it so they can become a man's dream woman or be provided for, or you see videos on how to say things in a feminine way, how to do things in a feminine way. But these barely even begin to express what feminine energy actually is, and the lack of depth in these conversations has left so many women feeling like this is some kind of woo-woo spiritual talk or pushing some kind of political agenda. And if you look at these videos, it's more or less become a laundry list of performative acts that don't even feel integrated with your body. Slow down, receive, add more movement, get creative, take baths, wear dresses. And sure, you can try all of that, but none of it will stick if you're not mentally in the place to even access your feminine energy. Because true feminine energy isn't something you perform. It's something you live from. It's a state you return to. It's a homecoming back to your root self. Who were you before the world told you who you should or shouldn't be? It is the art of being at home within yourself. So today, we'll talk about what feminine energy really is, why most women can't feel it, and how to finally shift into it. Because life can feel easier, and you can become more magnetic to love, success, and everything in between. Our real power as women isn't in forcing, pushing, or grinding. It's in flow. It's in magnetism. It's in our ability to receive. And honestly, living from that place feels lighter. It feels more natural, more romantic, more aligned, and it still gets you everything you want. That's exactly what I'm going to show you today. As always, we don't gatekeep, so let's step into it. Feminine energy isn't a buzzword, and it's not an aesthetic, nor is it about gender at all. It is a force that we all possess, and it stays in some sort of balance with the masculine energy. Everyone has a blend and a balance. Think of masculine energy as fire. It's structure, discipline, focus, drive, the energy that pushes forward and executes. It's the energy that goes out and gets what you want. Think of feminine energy as water. Flow, intuition, creation, presence, receiving. And like water, it can be calm or it can be a storm, soft or chaotic, gentle or powerful enough to reshape continents and give life to all living things. Feminine energy is directly connected to creation energy, and not just life, but ideas, art, music, money, business, food. It's the kind of energy that leans back and trusts that you will receive everything you want in life. And you need both. The feminine dreams, the masculine builds, the feminine creates space, the masculine provides structure, and when balanced, life feels aligned, more natural, and a whole lot easier. They work together to create a balance so that you can move through life with a sense of ease, even when you are met with obstacles. But women today, we're stuck in fire mode all the time. But ambition isn't the problem. The problem is in how most women chase it, hustling nonstop, thinking it is the key to success, but only to burn out or still feel so unfulfilled. Let me ask you this. How many of you feel like life is harder than it really needs to be? Like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. And you can't slow down and you can't stop. You just keep piling things onto your plate even when you're running on fumes because you can't relax and you can't let go and you're always just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then suddenly you're having hormonal issues. Your period is irregular. Your body is inflamed and you can't eat this and you can't eat that. Your body starts breaking down. You're exhausted mentally and physically. Your body is literally screaming at you that this can't be the way to live. That is masculine overdrive, hustling, overworking, being productive, and chasing success. So we learn to suppress softness. We learned to overfunction. We learned to perform strength instead of feel supported. And we were told to always do more, achieve more, be more. Nothing was ever enough, so you never felt enough. And that's how the never-ending cycle of chasing and overperforming to prove yourself began. You were told that the only way to get money and stability in life was to work harder. And to get the love or job you want, you needed to prove yourself more and do more. Of course you feel disconnected. Of course you feel misaligned. And you're asking yourself, why does the pace of life feel so unnatural? Why, after doing everything you were supposed to do, you still feel so unfulfilled? This is the fundamental misalignment that we are all collectively experiencing. I used to be that girl who fully bought into the hustle and grind. My life looked great on the outside. High-paying tech job, always going to fine dining, traveling the world, boyfriend at the time who was the charismatic life of the party. I spent years chasing success the way I was taught, to be independent, fiercely capable, and endlessly productive. But those qualities, when it is overdone at the expense of your mental and physical health, at the expense of your self-worth, when you start feeling like you have to constantly perform in order to prove yourself, when you feel like everything in life feels so hard and your relationship feels off, your friendship feels off, and you just don't see how you can do things differently, it starts becoming a problem because then you feel stuck. I became so disconnected from myself. I was so busy becoming the man I thought I needed that I completely neglected the woman I actually was. So no matter how much I did and how much I achieved, no matter how great my life seemed, I still felt misaligned, like I was choosing to live life on hard mode. That's the feminine wound women are waking up to. And here's the funny thing. We think hustling harder is going to save us. Maybe then I'll make enough money. Maybe then I'll finally feel confident. Maybe then I'll finally feel secure. But if it worked, so many women wouldn't be feeling this way. Is this how you want to live the rest of your life? Or do you want to be the kind of woman who doesn't have to chase because opportunities, love, money, and success naturally find its way to her? That's why advice telling you to move slower doesn't work for most women. When you're in survival mode, you can't soften up when your nervous system is bracing for impact. Here's where most feminine energy advice gets it wrong. You cannot step into your feminine through habits alone. You have to heal the parts of yourself that don't feel worthy, safe, or supported enough to soften. So the real feminine journey isn't about looking feminine, it's about coming home to yourself. It begins with self-worth. You will never soften into your feminine energy if deep down you feel undeserving, unsafe, unimportant, unseen, and unlovable, or only lovable when you are useful. Because feminine energy is receiving energy. If you don't feel worthy, you won't receive. You'll reject compliments, help, opportunities, rest, and pleasure. Most women don't realize this, but the reason life feels hard is because you unintentionally make it hard. You say no to help, or you feel like no one is willing to help you, or you don't want to be a burden, so you don't ever ask for help, or you don't want to feel like you owe anyone anything. So ask yourself this. Why is it so hard to let other people help you? Why do you feel you have to earn support? Is it perfectionism? Feeling like you're the only one who can do it right? Is it guilt around resting? Or is it shame? Believing that asking for help makes you weak? Because if you tend to help others out of the kindness of your heart, why do you feel like you are not privy to the same level of kindness from others? It's not embarrassing or weak to ask for help. I want you to know that that is one of the biggest lies told to women to monitor our feminine power. Do you see CEOs and world leaders running the show on their own? Did queens back in the day do everything on their own? No. Feminine energy requires space to rise. Mental, physical, and emotional space. You can't access your intuition, creativity, emotional awareness, sensuality, presence, or even relax when your life is overloaded. It needs silence. It needs pause. It needs stillness. It needs room to expand. This is why receiving help is powerful, because it creates space. Receiving help is not weak. Think of it as your superpower. You rather be the woman who has 20 people offering to help her over the woman everyone looks past because they just know she can do it on her own. Because if you want ease and space in your life, you need to be smarter and accept help. Can you do it on your own? Absolutely. But understand that you don't have to. And you can start by learning when to not reject kindness and help. Someone opens the door for you, helps you with luggage at the airport, carries your packages for you. Meet them with gratitude. Thank you, and move on. Don't say, no worries, I got it, or you didn't have to, or I can do it. You're blocking your own blessings, baby girl. This is why you hear a lot of feminine energy advice telling women to do nothing. Because as a woman who is so used to doing it all on her own, doing nothing feels uncomfortable. But it's not actually about seeking comfort and doing nothing at all. It's about stopping the compulsive overdoing so you can finally feel what it's like to be supported. Same with setting boundaries and delegating work. Learning how to do these two things will also help create space in your life. When people want to take things off your plate, let them. If people want to make your life easier, let them. When people want to add to your load or start inserting themselves into your private space, this is when you need to be firm and say no. This is you protecting your space. And when you begin to have that space, when you begin to slow down and rest, your nervous system starts to shift. If you're always anticipating for the worst or expecting something to go wrong and you're in go, go, go mode, your body cannot and will not soften. And so your feminine energy can't rise. You have to feel safe in your own presence. That's why slowing down feels uncomfortable at first. Your nervous system thinks resting is dangerous, but the more you slow down your pace and create more space, the more you create emotional safety within your body. And once you feel safe, once you realize you have the space, your feminine energy starts flowing naturally. You feel more creative, you feel more intuitive, you speak differently, move differently, react differently. You stop over-explaining, you stop defending yourself around people who just don't get it. You stop performing and you stop over-giving and you begin to live instead of survive. This is why I say feminine energy is a homecoming. It is learning, knowing, and loving yourself so deeply that you empower yourself as a woman. So it's not about wearing pretty dresses to look feminine, but it is about wearing pretty dresses if it makes you feel good, if it helps you express yourself in the way you want to express, and it helps you look like the woman you want to be. It's not about taking bubble baths just to take bubble baths, but it is about turning your baths into a self-care ritual if it helps you relax and it makes you feel like the most luxurious and important woman in the world. It's not about talking softly and staying quiet, but it is about knowing the value of your presence and the weight of your words and understanding that you do not need to be forceful or loud in order to be heard. You get to choose your flavor of your own feminine energy. That's the beauty of it. And as you come home to yourself, you feel the shift. You've built the inner peace and inner spaciousness to understand that you will always choose yourself and your well-being. You learn that not everything deserves your energy, so you don't need to react to certain people or situations. You don't need to take things personally from irrelevant people. You're not triggered by the smallest things people say. You have the emotional capacity to flow, to manage how you feel. This is softness. This is emotional intelligence. It's choosing peace when you used to choose chaos. It's choosing ease and letting things go so that it no longer bothers you. And the more you radiate this energy, the more it is reflected in your external world. The women you see who glow with feminine energy act the way they act because they are embodying who they are. Advice telling you to walk slowly, speak differently, create more, that's not the full picture. These women have slower movements because they are already in their feminine energy, so they're not rushing. Her speech is softer because she doesn't feel the need to rush and waste her energy. She's creating art from her ideas because she's reconnected and aligned internally. You have to start with creating space. Otherwise, everything else will feel performative. It might be fun, it might give you some sort of relaxation, but it won't shift you energetically. Think about the most confident, radiant woman you know. Is she forcing people to like her? Is she pretending to be someone she's not? Is she begging for attention? Of course not. There's just something about her, a presence, a softness, a grounded confidence. That power doesn't come from performing. It comes from feminine energy. Because feminine energy is the energetic state that makes you available to receive your desires. Manifestations don't happen because you visualized harder, okay? It's because you created space, felt worthy, regulated your nervous system, stopped operating out of fear, softened up, and trusted the process. You don't have to chase what is meant for you. It naturally becomes attracted to you. This is the quiet confidence you begin to carry. Once you reconnect with your feminine, there's one more layer that's really important. Knowing how to switch between your masculine and your feminine energy depending on the situation you're in. Like I said earlier, feminine energy isn't about being soft and comfort seeking and doing nothing all the time. And masculine energy isn't about grinding and bulldozing your way through life all the time. The goal is not to lock yourself into one identity, but to become familiar with both so you can be versatile, intentional, and emotionally strategic and switch between the both. Your feminine energy is for alignment. It's how you attract, how you connect, and how you sense what's right for you. Your masculine energy is for direction. It's for execution, structure, planning, deadlines, clarity. It's how you build and move things forward. Most women today operate out of their masculine. At work, they are hustling, grinding, overworking. In love, they are performing, proving, planning, leading. This is why things feel hard. When you understand your inner energies, you learn how to place the right energy in the right context. You don't have to be hyper feminine in every environment, and you don't have to be hyper masculine to be successful. You just have to choose consciously. When you're dating, let your masculine rest so your feminine can shine. You become receptive, open, and emotionally attuned. When you're leading a project or building a business, let your masculine take the wheel. You become focused, structured, and decisive. When you're traveling with your girlfriends, you're balanced. A little structure, some planning, a lot of fun, and a whole lot of shared feminine energy. It isn't about becoming someone else. It's about knowing how to access the right version of yourself at the right moment. This is the mastery. This is the elegance. This is the part nobody teaches. That's all the cake I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed our little talk today, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to share your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next episode.